I've always been a fan of open world games. When I was about 8 or 9 and I still played LEGO, the huge open hub of LEGO Batman 2 was a revelation to me. And, in the same way, so was Breath of the Wild. I'm sure anybody who's watching this has seen a bunch of other review scores already, and you probably already know that this is one of the best review games of all time. But, unlike those other guys, I'm not a hardcore gamer, so I thought it would be interesting to come at the game from a casual's perspective. I've never dabbled much with Zelda, but when I saw this one and the Switch, I knew I had to get them both. 720p does not hold this game back, and even though textures can look slightly muddy at close range, Land of Hyrule is full of spectacular eye candy and covered in a fresh new art style. I've only played a few hours of the game, but I've already acquired an ancient glowing energy shield, flown across mountains, and traversed snowy peaks. This is a game that looks absolutely gorgeous. You do not need 4K for a great-looking game. Weapons are now breakable, which means you need to always have a backup. I had one time where I charged into a bokoblin encampment, only to have my bow break, leaving me with no way to get the bridge to their fort down. But even with this, the game's combat doesn't feel limited at all. You can drop boulders on enemies to crush them, fling bombs to fry them to a crisp, or try a whole new host of other advanced techniques. One gamer flung a lightning-attracting metal sword at an enemy during a lightning storm, and another lit the grass on fire to stave off enemies before lifting off on the paraglider from the updraft and sniping them from above. My personal favorite weapons are the bomb arrows. As you can see, I'm a big fan. Unfortunately, its controls don't always work as well. Aiming an arrow with the right analog stick while pressing the ZR button is awkward, and the complicated control scheme is difficult at times as well, making my puny brain hurt as it tries to remember what all the buttons do. Also, I have noticed some frame rate dips during combat, though nothing that should ruin your experience. But the thing I really hate are those motion-controlled puzzles in the shrines. They are evil. End of story. Regardless, these issues don't detract from the great overall experience. I've had a blast playing Breath of the Wild, and I look forward to many more hours of slaying enemies, exploring the great unknown, and finding out what happened to Hyrule all those years ago.